most prestigious um, ones, no, which are offered not by application but by invitation. They will invite and will offer that. Becoming a fellow of such institutes is not a thing we cannot even imagine. That professor is the fellow of Royal Institutes, Royal Associations of England and Ireland. And another important thing that I have to share with you is that now uh, he has been awarded by the Prime Minister of India and the Ministry of Human Resource Development for his meritorious and outstanding academic career. Now, he is an awardee of the Prime Minister of India, and he has been felicitated by the President of India for his extraordinary contribution to the academic community. He is the Associate Professor at the Department of English with the Sanchi University of Buddhist and Indic Studies at Madhya Pradesh. And he has also served as Dean and head of the department there in that university. And he has been felicitated by many associations. Apart from that, now the pinnacles of his achievement, now we have already seen that he has been felicitated. He has been awarded by the Honorable Prime Minister and His Excellency the President of India. He has also published books on communication skills and practices, on management and English grammar. And so he also authored books on Thomas Hardy, and he has written some collection of Hindi poems. So now we have an extraordinary academician to talk to us on arriving at review of literature or literature review for research. Sir, now I thank you for accepting our invitation with all your busy schedule, and thank you for being here. And I hope your lecture will largely benefit. Your lecture will be beneficial to my students and scholars. And I invite you on behalf of the participants and on behalf of the Department of English, I invite you to deliver the lecture. Please, sir.
Good afternoon to one and all.
Good afternoon.
Am I audible to all or not?
Sir, they are there, but their audio is muted.
Okay, very good, very good. Let me at the outset convey my heartfelt thanks to none other than Dr. P. Padmanabhanji. He is the principal investigator, assistant professor, Department of English and Foreign Languages, Bhartiyar University, Coimbatore. You know, sometimes you don't know even certain things happen in your life. And I think sometimes you get the opportunity by luck also. It is luck by chance that I got a call from very respected Professor Padmanabhanji, and I'm so little to say no to him. You know, because two things are there. First thing that he told me on the very first day, that, sir, you might be attending, you might be, chairing, you might be speaking at various platforms, but do you know, sir, what I am doing? Please tell Padmanabhanji what you are doing. Then he told me that, sir, this program is not like the other program that we are having nowadays, and which are very frequent and common in nature. This program is specially designed for the PhD, MPhil scholars working in multifaceted, multidimensional fields. So, hats off to him.
Thank you, sir.
Being a teacher and academician and research scholar, your first love is always your students. You may be attending various international programs, seminars, workshops, symposium, whatever may be, but dealing with the learners, dealing with the students, it is always, very fascinating. It's quite charming. And I think to this particular point, I think we both of us are aligned. And therefore, I feel it is my honor. I'm honored to have this golden opportunity to interact with with people like you, young scholars, budding scholars, who would be, you know, if nurtured properly, definitely excel in their respective fields of research and academics. And this is what a teacher can dream about. So being teacher, I always feel people like Professor Padmanabhanji, they are the source of inspiration. They provide you certain lessons in your teaching, journey, teaching, Sega, that you should also contribute to the society. And I'm lucky to be indirectly or directly associated with him, and not in toto, but whatever share I can contribute, I am very much, happy today that I'm going to contribute on a piece of, information, which is of course related to research, because research is something which is very vast. Let me tell you, because this is your third week and attending a program for such a long duration, both of you people, that means the organizers, the attendees, the participants, you deserve a round of huge applause. 3 cheers for you people. But when I was discussing with him, sir, what type topic I should choose, or what area I should, deal, then he was very open. Sir, whatever topic you feel convenient, you can choose. But if you can, when I revealed my, plan, I would like to take a literature review. Then he said, of course, sir, you should go ahead, because we have covered almost all the areas related to research. And so far, it is often neglected in the field of research. And even we are not neglecting. I was having this plan. He was saying like this to cover it. And you are lucky. And since you are telling me that you are very much interested, please go ahead, sir. And yesterday night also, when I wanted to have a trial, so that everything should go in final mode, he was readily available around 11 p.m. in the night. So it shows that how a person is very much sincere towards his, this particular program, about his planning, about his execution of the program. Thank you very much, Professor Padmanabhanji.
Thank you, sir.
Let me begin with a Vedic, since I belong to a university which is quite different in nature. So you may feel something very different from other, presentations also. I hope so, and I will try my level best. It is always good to listen about you, when somebody reads out your that biodata, whatever it may be, but to execute it on practical grounds, you need a sense of a real teacher. And teaching is all about sharing experience. So keep aside my all experience, knowledge, degrees, qualifications. I like to share certain things with you. So let me begin with this Shanti part, I think, which is very much required in this turbulent time. Am I going very fast, or I should go slow down?
No
Professor
problem,
Padmanabhan?
Professor. You can go ahead. No problem.
Because this is the natural way in which I, deal with my learners, and almost
Yes,
you people are there
yes, sir.
to,
Yes.
to listen to me.
Yes. No problem.
So for a few minutes, please close your eyes and recite with me. Om Sanavavatu Sano Bhunaktu Saviryam Karvavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvidishavahi. Om Shanti Shanti, Shanti. Please open your eyes. Om. May we all be protected. May we all be nourished. May we work together with great energy and enthusiasm. May our intellect be sharpened. That is, our study will become effective. Let there will be no animosity amongst us. Om, peace in me, in nature, peace in all divine forces. With this cheerful note, let me talk for a few minutes, then I will run my PPT. Whenever you talk about research, being a student, being a scholar, being a teacher, you have certain things in your mind. Sometimes we are overly burdened by the term research. It is something which is very serious, in which we have to focus, because the research that we do, I think, in whatever areas maybe. I like to begin with certain few very, say for example, you want to buy a small, wallet, or take any other example. You want to buy a mobile. Okay, what will you do in the market? You will go to your teacher first, maybe Professor Padmanabhan, or maybe Mehta, maybe XYZ, and we'll see what type of mobile that fellow or he or she is using. Then you Google, you search, you compare the rates, price, everything, features, whatever may be under the head of that particular product. You go to the friend's house or call him, what type of mobile you are using and what is the latest, mobile in practice. And then ultimately you book through online, or you go to the shopkeeper, and finally you purchase a mobile. What you have done during this whole process, if you think a bit, indirectly you conducted a research. So research is something which is not different, which is not something which is very unique in nature. I may be very, sharp in my remark. It may become unique later on, but at the initial stage, it was simply a research. But if you look back what you have done, then you have to begin from the day first, when you started thinking about that mobile, about that new gadget, about that new, cell phone or mobile phone, Android phone, in which you wanted to have your desire required, applications, and ultimately you started searching it through various sources, and ultimately you took a final call and decision. So all these stages or steps you have, passed successfully without failing even on a single stage or step. So research was there also when you are searching for a restaurant where you can dine, where you wanted to have your lunch, dinner, or maybe your brunch. So research is everywhere. You cannot keep aside, you cannot simply ignore or look research from your life. It's just like oxygen that we require for studies, for better results. We require thorough understanding of the subject, of any topic, any discussion, any matter. And then we'll, with the help of research, we take a final decision. So in making a final decision, research is required. Why I'm talking all these things? My topic is somewhat different. Professor Padmanabhan ji asked me to deal with literature review, and I am talking about research. Isn't it funny? Yes. it looks very funny. Why it is funny? Because research, whenever you do, you take help of your previous experiences. So when it comes to writing a paper, when it comes to writing a dissertation, thesis, project work, you need to take into consideration the previous works, previous experiences of the researchers. My dear research scholars, now you may be in your PG programs. Professor Padmanabhan ji, are they mostly belong to PG program, or they are from the PhD MPhil program also? Hello?
Sir,
Sir,
both PhD and scholars.
Hello? They are
sir,
from?
so they are from postgraduate and research scholars.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
Very nice, sir, that you have included even PG students.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So they should have develop a habit of pursuing research of quality. Whenever it comes to do research, a particular term is also related with it: quality. Quality is not something that can be produced overnight. People like Padmanabhan ji, they are, I think, the people who would provide you proper direction, guidance, mentorship, supervision, so that you can imbibe, you can have qualities to become a good researcher. So on this particular background, let me introduce my topic for you. The topic of our today's discussion is something which is, to be very honest, people take it very casually. Again, I may be very harsh, please forgive me, because whatever we think about review of literature, we think about taking some papers from the past, collect them, put them in a chronological order, or take their main points, finish. But let me tell you, if you want to be a good scholar, remember, not only, sir, Professor Padmanabhan ji, they might have gone through exploratory research and empirical or theoretical research, all these things they might have already gone through. Hello? Hello? Anyone?
Sir,
You might, yeah, they might have gone through this empirical research or theoretical research, all these things earlier in their
Yes, sir.
previous sessions.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, sir. Very good. Very good. Because you already have gone through all these things: empirical research, theoretical research. And in theoretical research or even empirical research, literature review is must. You cannot do anything substantial, my word, or concrete without covering this very important aspect of literature review. You see, Google it if I'm wrong. After my lecture, even during my lecture, you will find that there are good research papers. They are published in high indexed journals like Scopus, elsewhere, JSTOR, Routledge, Oxford, Cambridge, all the Harvard journals, based on only literature review. This is the importance. This shows the magnanimity of literature of review. So it should not be overlooked, my dear scholars. If you are a serious, focused, and quality oriented scholars, never neglect whether you are writing a complete paper on literature review with the help of literature review, or you are only putting it as a part of your research paper? Pay complete focus. Studying previous studies thoroughly, sincerely, honest, with great honesty, integrity will help you to make your research compact, impeccable, and very strong in nature. Nobody can challenge it. So it's my humble request to one and all, my dear scholars. Even what I've learned through my previous scholars only. That if you want to make a holistic paper, a paper that can be cited by others, that can be accessed by others, can be approached by others, how you can judge the or evaluate the the area of any paper, or the length of any paper, or the scope of any paper, or nature of any paper, with the help of the citations, how many times it has been cited. So good paper entirely, largely looms upon literature review. On this note, let me take you to the world of literature review. Till time, if you have any question, any doubt, I'm here. We are here to solve your any query or any doubt. Hello.
Sir, your
Hello.
PPT is visible, sir.
Are you able to visualize PPT?
Yes, sir.
Yes, visible.
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Could I know your name, please?
Sukanya.
Sukanya. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
sir.
Thank you so much. You are helping me a lot. Thank you, Sukanya ji. This is the topic of today's discussion. I have prepared a background so that we can go it very smoothly. Whenever you feel some kind of discomfort or any query you have in your mind, please stop me. I will stop there. Then we will go ahead. Shall I go ahead, Sukanya?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. 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 Thank you. So you might have gone through these areas in your previous classes, previous lectures. What should be the structure of a research paper? I am telling you, please note down somewhere. This is a common structure. It's not universal in nature. Professor Padmanabhan's structure may be different. Your structure may be different. Sukanya's structure may be different. Even mine structure may be different. But these are the common points that one should look forward in any research paper. Third, I think, is the most important element in overall structure: literature review. It comes just before introduction, and it is followed by presentation of findings. So its position is very critical. It helps introduction to extend the study or research, and it leads towards the finding of any research. So it's a link. It's a chain. It's a very important link between introduction and findings. Are you getting this point, my dear research scholars? Shall I go ahead? So whenever you talk about literature review, it is very important very important element of entire research process. If you want to do, critical analysis for any question, any problem, any topic, you people belong to, different fields. Therefore, right now I'm not going to stick with English literature. Let me take you a very simple example. Shall I take an example from your life? The topic of our research, say for example, use of smartphones among PG or research scholars. A study of scholars of Coimbatore University. Now, this is your topic of research. You want to now go ahead with this particular problem or topic. How will you go about it? Definitely, you will write an abstract, an overview of your problem or topic or talk. Then you will analyze it. How? Now, here I think the role of literature review becomes very crucial, very vital. It helps you to have a critical analysis of the problem. Therefore, its presentation, it's also classification, it's evaluation of whatever has been done. Say for example, on this particular topic, earlier also in Chennai University, other university, the same research has been conducted. Not same, it may be related to something different. It may be among the higher secondary school students. It may be among the UG students. So, what will you do? Definitely, you like to go through the previous ones. Whatever has been written earlier, you like to relook all those things. So it is no, my dear. It's not something which is which can be categorized under book review. You might be given this task at your 11th, 12th, intermediate, or at a school level, or even at your UG or maybe at the PG level. Write book reviews, 2 book reviews. Whatever you do, it's just like a summary. No, it's not book review. It's a literature review. So don't get confused. It is something which is beyond a book review. It is more wide, comprehensive, more systematic. It's a review of scholarly publications. Even sometimes it happens that you write a thesis, but it doesn't get published. It's there. You cannot deny its importance. So it may be printed or even not printed, or it may be see, whenever it comes to us that literature review, we think about only literature review of papers, research papers, which have been published in the journals. No, don't get again misdirected or confused. If you are a real scholar, true scholar, it can be done of audiovisual materials also. Say for example, you want to buy a cassette of a new song, new album. What will you do? You will do research. Yes, you do research. You do research about the movie, about the composer, about the musician, about the lyricist, about the hero, heroines, everything. Don't you do? You do. And even of personal communication. So now epistemologically, if you look at the terms, there are two words in literature review. The term, it has got its origin or it is derived from a Latin word. This is theoretical part, I understand. But we need to know what does it mean to us. Without knowing it, how we can go ahead? So it may be somewhat boring to you for a while, but we need to understand these terms. It may be literature. So what does it mean? It's a learning, a writing, grammar. Basically, it is formed with letters from litera or letter. So it's a letter, simply speaking. But when you add another word to it, review, so it is originated from late Middle English. It's a noun, review. Have my review. Now, if you talk in this term, review, it becomes a noun. The noun is a name of person, place, or thing. So it becomes a stuff kind of thing. This is my review. So it has got its origin, review word from obsolete French review, revoir. That means to see again. You combine it, re plus view is equal to look again. So you are going to look again what others have already done. It may be in the similar areas, not necessary it's identical. What I have already told you, that you want to do a research on the use of or application of mobile phone among the UG students. So it may be not identical, like in Chennai, if people have done similar study, but it may be at the school level, at the primary school level, or it may be among the teachers also, not the students. So by and large, with the help of these two terms, we can conclude the sources. So it helps you to have an overview of a particular topic or talk, overview, an outline. Okay, these are the major works in my area. Oh, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20 people, they have contributed in the area in which I am working. It's nice. Now I can add some new dimension to the present work in this particular context. This is something which is really remarkable. Now when you look at the definitions of literature review, let me take only few definitions given by some of the prominent people working in this particular area. What they say? H.M. Cooper in 1988, he said it is something which helps you to describe, summarize, evaluate, or integrate the content of the primary reports. So whatever your content, you want to describe it, you want to summarize it, you want to evaluate, or you want to integrate with the findings, with the other elements of the research, it helps you a lot in that context. Then Queensland University of Australia in 1999, it describes about the importance of literature review, or it defines the literature review, more or less similar to Cooper. But means people of this university, scholars of this university, they added something new to it. It's a kind of theoretical base for the research that I was talking about initially. It provides a kind of platform, launching pad, so that you can help. It can help you to determine the nature or scope of the research. Then University of Toronto, in their research in year 2001, they are very plain. They said it's an account of works which have been already conducted or published on a particular topic, and the people, those who have done, they should be scholars, they should be researchers. Let me complete the definitions, then I would definitely like to highlight this particular word, accredited. What does it mean here? Accreditation means what? It's a very important point. Let me finish the next definition, then we would like to discuss about it as well. So, literature review, in the opinion of Fink, in his book, Conducting Research Literature Reviews from Internet to Paper, because you people mostly have this particular facility of internet. Therefore, deliberately, I have chosen this particular author. He said, it's a systematic, explicit, and it can be reproduced method for identifying, evaluating, synthesizing the existing body of completed and recorded work. So, my dear scholars, pay attention on these three words. In all the definitions, you will find three keywords. It's summarizing, it's evaluating, and it is somewhat synthesizing also. These three words are keywords in the definitions of literature review. Let me go back to that word, accreditation. Let me stop for a while here, and let me stop sharing my PPT for a while. I like to interact with you through face-to-face interaction. Whenever you talk about, my dear scholars, literature review, you think that what will I do? I will go to the Google or some other search engine, then I will pick up some papers from there, similar or maybe in the same area. You don't look at the nature, scope, the quality, the content, the validity of that research paper. Never. I'm very honest. So it's a piece of advice. Professor Padmanabhan ji, are you listening to me? Hello? Hello?
Sir?
Sukanya ji, are you listening to me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Am I right or wrong? Mostly we do like this.
Yes, sir.
We go to the Google, and then what we do? We take in account, some authors from there. Look, okay, for example, this have been already written. Okay. And we take all those material in our part of our literature review.
Yes, sir.
Very wrong. Let me very, frank and honest. Because you are just like me, you young people, dynamic mind, ignited minds. As our late great President of India, APJ Kalam Saab said, ignited mind, my dear scholars. Don't do this mistake. Never in your life. If you study a good paper, only you can expect to have good research. How garbage can produce, gold? You cannot produce gold out of garbage. If you haven't done justice to your, research, if you don't study quality papers, you don't deal with the quality papers. Read at least 30, 40 good papers from the prestigious journals of your areas of research. Whether you are from biology, whether you are from geology, whether you are from mathematics, or you are from any branch of learning or knowledge, my dear students. You may be some of you may be from engineering, whatever maybe you are, your field of knowledge or learning. Topmost research papers of your area. Look at them, study them. Some good authors may be there who are highly cited. Their papers are highly indexed, greatly indexed. Then take the help of those papers while writing your review of literature. Therefore, I stopped here deliberately. That means the accreditation. Who are accredited, who are acknowledged scholars, take them into account in your study. Shall we go ahead?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your permission, Sukanya. Okay. Let me go ahead. It's visible to you?
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So nice of you. It's a teaching is two-way traffic, Sukanya beta, and you are helping me a lot. You are pursuing something, and you are working there.
I'm doing PhD, sir, under the guidance of
Very
Padmanabhan,
good.
sir.
Very good. Very good. Um, Best wishes to you.
Thank you, sir.
Importance of literature review. This is something which we have why we do research um, with great efforts, painstaking efforts, and we should not neglect, we should not overlook the importance of literature review. Here are some points. No, people have already done. I know that. Why you are doing? Yes, people have already done so many research on use of application of mobile phones. Then what extra you are going to contribute into that? No, they have already told. Okay, we should accept this. No, we have to do what? We have to summarize the results of the previous studies in nutshell manner. People have already done. They have completed their work. Now it's on us, on our shoulders. We should summarize the previous studies, so we can use them as database. They will give you a kind of, those old studies will help you to construct your framework, launching pad. So you have a database with the help of the previous work, and even you can compare and contrast that previous investigations. It was very just like, similar to mind research. Now that scholar applied that particular methodology and that design, whether it is empirical, whether it is theoretical research. Now I will do something. I'm going to follow that particular methodology again, whether I would add some more methodology into it, whether I'm going to apply the same tool or not. That study was empirical, my study will be conceptual one. So all these things will have to be there whenever you focus on your research. And how you can distinguish? With the help of literature review. Therefore, it's very, very important at this particular stage. It helps a researcher. In what context? In this particular context, that if you are going to repeat something, oh, it's a mere repetition. What I'm doing nothing new. It's just repetition of that. I should stop here. No, I'm not going to do. I should consult my guide. I should consult my supervisor. Oh, otherwise I will also come along with this particular conclusion, and my research will be of no use. Nobody is going to see it in future. So I should stop here. Duplication should be avoided. Unnecessary, unintentional. You are not doing something intentionally. I'm telling you, all you are very honest, very sincere. Therefore, you see 31, 32 people still are there in the this particular conference room. And it shows. I congratulate all of you that you are listening with great patience. Why? Because you want to make your research quality oriented, so that people in future can read, can go through your research, and then they can cite your paper, my dear scholars. Otherwise your research will be of no use, it will be of less importance. Everybody likes this, that if I am doing, Sukanya is doing this particular research, it should be open to all, and everybody should good, should quote it, should cite her in their paper. This is the, you know desire of every research scholar whosoever present here in this conference room, as well as, even it's a desire of mine also, to be very honest, that my paper should be read by people around the world. Am I right or wrong? Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir, you're right.
Okay, thank you. Let me go ahead. So, whenever you have this dilemma, that unintentionally you don't have any intention to copy and paste, but sometimes it happen. All of you are very sincere, focused scholars. That we get, inspiration, not imitation. Imitation is somewhat different, and duplication may be there. And even it helps you to work upon your research methods and strategies. If you conduct a proper survey of old previous studies, you can develop, you can prepare your own methods and strategies to pursue your quality research. And if your literature review is very intense, you can make your study also quite different. It may be not something which is an ordinary study, it will be an outstanding study in nature. So what is the purpose or aim of your literature review? Why I should do research, literature review in my research? For the sake of literature review, I should do literature review. I'm a scholar of mathematics, so I should do one thing, that I should take 5 papers, 6 papers from the old research scholars, and then only draw some conclusions from their paper, and my work is over. No, not at all. You are wrong, my dear scholar. Or somebody has done papers, research papers on Shakespeare's dramas, or universality of Shakespeare, or heroines in the plays of Shakespeare, or whatever may be the nature of the tragedies. And now, if people have already written, what should I do? I should copy from the old papers and then draw out some conclusion. My work is over. No, this is almost wrong. There must be some purpose behind your activity. Every action has got its own reaction. Am I right or wrong, my dear scholars?
Yes, sir.
So you have keep aim or purpose of your literature review beforehand. You should demonstrate very clearly. These are the available resources of from where I have taken. Oh, that paper was written by Sukanya. That paper written by that Muthuswamy. That paper written by Manoj. That paper written by Mr. Ravi. Very good. And those papers were published there. These are the available resources for me. And those people are really, they are at the helm of their affairs. They are really very well read scholars. They are often cited or quoted. Then it helps you to provide a kind of background. And if you are not very familiar with your research scholars, with your research topic, it happens, my dear scholars. With me also, it happens many a times that you get a topic for your research, and sometime it is going to be imposed by the supervisor. No, 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 you have to do only on this. You don't have your choice. If I am saying something, you have to do only on this. So out of force or out of choice, maybe you want to be familiar with your research. How you can be familiar with your research? When you do thorough research literature review. And there is very important point in your research study, future scope of research. How you can explore that particular future scope of research with the help of literature review only. It happens, you might be feeling boredomness even in this lecture. Research is something which is very heavy in nature. It's a pure ghee, my dear. It's not something which is, um, impure in nature. So whenever we do research, it is quite boring. At, you know, you may be feeling boredomness in lecture also, but to encourage, to motivate, and boost confidence, you have to do research review, literature review. It will lift your soul. Oh, my dear. Oh, so many people have done. I'm not an exception. I'm not somewhat different from others. No, I would be now a different person, because now I will go with a fresh approach, with very positive frame of mind. So whatever you want to, choose, select, synthesize, or summarize, this is the aim of literature review. And even in research, there is something which is very important. The research is a time bounded activity. You might have come across in your previous lecture. Haven't means Let me ask you, have you gone through this particular, that research is a time bound activity? Have you gone through this one? Hello, are you listening
Yes,
to
sir.
me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Research is a time bound activity.
Yes, sir.
Financial constraint is there, time is a constant. You have to delimit your research, my dear scholars. At times, you cannot cover each and everything under this blue umbrella. You have to delimit your problem. You have to explore the solutions which are practical in nature. You can provide solutions. Say, for example, you are pursuing a research. I will give you an example. Fire accidents in the laboratories. You have to do a report on the fire accidents in laboratories, in colleges. You are pursuing a research. And in the suggestion column, in the recommendation column, you are writing that fire brigade should be, should be inaugurated, or should be installed in the college, in the maybe in the university or institution. Will it be feasible? No, not at all. Fire extinguisher you can install, but complete fire brigade or setup, it's very costly. Fire incidents are not very common in nature. In summer, it may be very frequent. Practicability of the findings has to be, it has to be looked after. So literature review will help you to make your research valid and practical also. Should I go ahead? You want to discuss something with me here, or should
Go
I go
ahead,
ahead?
sir. You
Should
continue,
I
sir.
go ahead? Very good. Thank you for your permission. Thank you for your permission, kind permission. Now I am taking help. See, nothing wrong in citing, in referring the material if you have taken. Say, for example, I have taken. You see, the cases of plagiarism are increasing by leaps and bounds. People are caught victim of this plagiarism. Because why? Because they are not habitual of mentioning, source of their information. Here I have taken something for your benefit. I have taken this particular example. Here I have taken Aiton's hierarchy. He said something about it. You see, below to this particular, presentation, everything is mentioned about this particular diagram. Why to hide? It's open to all. We are in the open world. It's better we should reveal that I have taken from them. Nothing wrong in it. It shows rather your scholarship, that you have studied even Aiton's hierarchy. Now, what does it say? It may be not so much visible to you here, because I have taken a photograph of it. So I will move to the next slide. But my motto here to discuss this particular hierarchy, that how to, take the sources during your literature review. So look at it very carefully. Now this is the that particular part I have taken over here. Number of sources you may be there in your literature review. So what are the most respected sources? Let us exchange this information. Books, peer reviewed scholarly or scientific journals from reputed publishers. Pay attention on the word reputed. It's very important, my dear scholars. Otherwise, what will happen? There is a famous phrase, publish or perish. But you will perish yourself. Untimely death of a scholar. It's not a name of a novel. Neither title of any poem. But it may be if you do not consult reputed books, authentic information. Avoid predatory journals. UGC also saying the same thing. So many journals available online. Pay 500 rupees, 800 rupees, 1000 rupees. You get your paper published. You have to think about it. You are the best judge. No one else should be given this right except you. So 80% of your total, say for example, you are writing 10, mentioning 10 authors in your paper. At least 8 should be taken from this category of what? The category of most respected sources. Then the second category comes from where you can have 20% of your sources or sources. These may be the credible edited journals that may not be peer reviewed, but highly respected. They may be conference proceedings, paper from the well-respected research institutes like IITs, Triple ITM, IIMs, NITs, or prestigious universities like Coimbatore University. Very good in ranking. But if you compare it with ABCD University, then why all those institutions which are below to your university? So you can take not more than 20% of your sources literature review from there. Then that you can take from here and there. He recommend. I'm not going to recommend anything. That Aitons, he was saying like that. He recommends that not more than 5% of sources come from this category, like BBC, Washington Post, or even Times of India, Hindu, or from respected websites. These are the sources. No, not so much credible. But you want to do research, then you can focus on these websites or sources. Then the sources that he cautioned you have to avoid. What are the sources? Like Wikipedia, online quotation sites, predatory journals, any sites, blogs. They may be not so authentic, very honestly speaking. Until unless that scholar is somewhat very renowned, do not this risk. Otherwise, out of which I am repeating, not hope to produce gold or silver even. Then next, what are the types of literature review? What are the types of the literature review? I am not in a hurry. I will take complete time. I'm going to cover each and every area. So traditional review may be there. It is maybe from a dissertation or that thesis that you have. Narrative in nature. The research has already been conducted. Critical, detailed examination of the literature, and analytical evaluation of number of perspectives may be there. Then scoping review may be there. It may be at the beginning of any dissertation or research proposal. Then you have the conceptual paper, in which you have the you can categorize the articles according to its concept or the categories or themes. And here you have to be very much aware about the word understanding, so that you can have the current what is going on. So conceptual review, it helps to know what is the latest trend, what are the latest fashion, what are the latest mode of study, latest updates. All these things will be covered under the conceptual review. Then you have the state of art review. It's a periodically, and even in this particular half you have the most recent research. It is done periodically, like the research that we do on share markets. Some business students, maybe commerce student, maybe here, that you do on share market fluctuation, volatility of share market. Then you have the argumentative review. It is very beneficial for the social science people, especially for the psychological and philosophical students. It examines to refute, that is to deny or to accept or reject any argument. So with the help of philosophical bent of mind, you can do this. Then integrated review, it includes all these studies, all the branches of the knowledge. And then you have an identical hypothesis. Historical review, here you have the phenomena which is emerged in the literature, like the concept, theory, whatever has been done, throughout a period of time that you are going to cover. In 1960, like for example, you are going to do a research on, I'm going to give you a very relevant example on pandemic, COVID-19. So you will go through the studies which have been conducted in the different phases of time in 1915, 1916, 1920, then 19 whatever, 40, 50, then 70, 18, 2000, 2010, and then ultimately 2019. Different breakups. So it is historical review, my dear scholars. Are you able to understand, my dear scholars? Should I go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then you have methodological review. I think it is very important for us. Method, as the name suggests, you apply a method, it provides you a framework, so you can understand at different levels of your research areas. Then theoretical reviews, you want to examine any corpus of the theory, so that you can write about any conceptual note on a note, detail, or any phenomena. Then systematic literature review, and it is something which is related to the time frame. So it is of two categories: meta-analysis, in which you applied deductive research approach that you might have gone through in your previous lectures. It is mostly done with the help of statistical tools. Meta-analysis, it is somewhat statistical tools oriented. And then meta synthesis literature review, it is non-statistical in nature, and it is subjective, and it provides you new themes or concepts during your literature review. So what is the structure of a literature review? It's a very common. Provide an introduction that so and so. I will give you an example that we do also. Some of you might be practicing it also. That Dr. Padmanabhan, he has written a paper on neurolinguistics. I will give his example. And that paper has been published in the International Journal, published by Orient Longman in the volume number 8, issue number 2, year 2019, page number 14 to 20. We have taken into consideration. Now I have to give this, I have to cite this paper because I am writing also a paper or a project or a thesis or a dissertation on the topic related to linguistic studies. And this paper is somewhat familiar to me also, and it is also part of my research, directly or indirectly. So I would begin like this. Padmanabhan, do not put any doctor or any nomenclature. even not professor, 2019 in bracket, you can write, and then you can write stated in this paper, double inverted comma, neurolinguistics, published in Orient Longman, International Journal of Linguistics, Orient Longman, page number so and so, that linguistic so and so, so blah 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 blah. So like this. So it is the introductory part of it. Then the main body. So main body is something which is a skeleton, in which you have to talk about the, like for example, Padmanabhanji, he was talking about neurolinguistics. The title of the paper is neurolinguistics. Definitely, it's a, suppose for example, empirical paper. So he might have chosen a particular tool or technique, then he might have collected the data, he might have analyzed the data, and he might have come along with some conclusion. So you have to include all these portions in your this particular body. Initial part has been done. Inside the body, you have to write that Padmanabhan in his study, in the above study, has found that out of 255 respondents, 150 they were agreed to that particular blah 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 like this. Now he concluded in his paper that neurolinguistics is very helpful in developing cognitive skills, language skills of the learners of a particular college or a town or city maybe. So that is the concluding part of the body of your literature review. Then ultimately conclusion. Conclusion is the very important part that has been already, mostly overlooked by the research scholars. Here you are expected to provide your views. So this paper provides us a fresh approach toward the neuro-linguistic approach, neuro-linguistic language or neuro-linguistic study, and we can and it may be very helpful for the institutions to construct a special program or a model to improve language efficiency of the learners. So here I think learners, they get deviated. You have to provide your views also about that particular literature review. So this is the common structure or layout of a literature review. Then what are the steps in literature review? These are the very important stages or steps. Whenever you do any literature review, first search for the relevant literature. Without searching, you cannot do any literature review. So do one thing, do thorough research, and I have already told you it should be done with great sincerity. Authentic information, reliable source of information should be there. Validity of the information has to be checked out. Otherwise, what will happen? You will become victim of poor research if this particular step is not properly covered. Make a list of keywords. Keywords you should search, like social media. For example, that mobile, you are doing research on that. Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, all these things you have to cover. Young generation of the students. Then you have to search for the relevant sources also in this. So it may be your university library's catalog. Go to the chief librarian and meet him. Then you can do Google Scholar, JSTOR you can do, IBESCO you can do. You can also do search on Scopus Journal, elsewhere also. If you are commerce student or management student, lit you can, for economics you can do. For humanities and social sciences, go for Project Muse. If you are a student of physics, engineering and computer science, Inspect, you should go and search there. So do all these things. Then the second, evaluate the source. What question or problem the author is addressing? What are the key concepts? What are the key theories? What are the results and conclusions of the study? How does the publication rate to the other literature in the field? How does the publication contribute to your understanding of the topic? What are the strengths and weaknesses of the research? Do all these things. Then identify. Third, you have to identify themes, trends, patterns, which are popular, which are not popular, which are less popular in over period of time, themes, what questions, concepts that reoccur across the literature. Then you have to do, debates with the experts, not debate in literal terms, but you can have exchange of ideas. Do not develop these conflicts or all these things. You may be disagreed, but don't do don't you may come across with contradictory statements also, results also, studies also. Then do some study of serious publications and even research gaps that we will discuss in the later part of this particular presentation. Then the outline you have to write, a structure of, rough framework you have to draw out of your review of literature. Then finally you have to write your research and summarize, synthesize, analyze and interpret, critically evaluate, and write in well structured paragraph. Now the question comes when I was talking about research gap in that previous slide. What does it mean? And being a scholar, you may come across with research gap. It is very simple, nothing serious about it. I would like to take the help of very famous scholar Moini. He said a research gap or gap in the literature is a question or problem that has not been addressed or answered adequately or at all in the literature. There may be, because you are the first person in that particular area or field. So gap may be there. Say for example, you are doing research in 2019 or 2020. So before to that, or in 2010, somebody might have done. So this is a gap from 2010 to 2020. Nobody is there in that particular area who has contributed anything. May have contributed, might have contributed, but not of any great significance. So it is a kind of missing piece or pieces in the research literature that has not been explored till time and date. It is underexplored. So how you can identify the gap? The tools are there. And my dear scholars, please note down. This tool is developed by Thomson Reuters. It is called Essential Science Indicator. And it will inform you about the most cited papers in each field. Even Google Scholar you can do. Every field you will get the list of papers over there, the most cited papers, or in the areas of branches. So you can find out that in the area in which I am working, how many people have already, how many research papers have been already published. Or even you can use Google Trends. It provides a regional interest also index. Which topic is hot, which is popular in your area or in your particular country to which you belong. So my dear students, other tools are also there, but I have mentioned only few over here, like Google Trends, Essential Science Indicator. You can use also Google Scholar. Why research gap arises? It may be there because incorrect information. Now people have stopped working on it. Insufficient information may be there. People are biased towards their research. Unreliable they are. Inconsistency is there in the research area. It is repetitive in nature. Therefore, people are not paying any attention to it. Now, if you do research on COVID, because it is now almost not, I'm saying very, honestly, outdated now. So many people are doing the same thing, a repetition. Redundancy may be there. So how you can distinguish yourself? Like Professor Padmanabhan is different from others in his approach towards this webinar or FDP concept. He is conducting this webinar exclusively for whom? For the research scholars. So this is something that makes him different, that distinguishes him from others. Then what is the practicability of your research? If there is no practicability of research, definitely gap may be there, or impact of research is less, then even research gap may be there. Then methodological conflict may be there, and it may be due to localization strategy may be there of that you can scrutinize if finding on a certain topics are inconclusive. Then contradictory evidences may be there. It may be synthesized by key findings and determine contradictions. Once you do that, that gap may be narrowed down. And knowledge void, that means knowledge gap may be there, emptiness is there, shallowness there, hollowness may be there. Then through analyzation of analytical history of literature or theoretical concepts, you can bridge this particular gap. Action knowledge conflict may be there, and with the help of collected information, it can be avoided. Evolution wide may be there, so with the help of research findings, it can be overcome. Theory application wide may be there, so analyze the theories that have been applied to certain phenomena, and it can be overcome. My dear scholars, I think this is very important for you people, that you should not become victim of poor literature review. So there are things that you need to do, there are things that you are not supposed to do. So let us go through first of all the do's. You can do a serious, thorough study of the previous research papers. Organize them as per your interest, as per your area of research. Do read so that you can go back to the original research. 50, 60, 100 research papers you have to go through. Write in your own words. Identify some renowned scholars of your field. Renowned. Otherwise, what will happen? You will come across with these scholars, those who are less significant, and their contribution, whether they have contributed, I don't know, but still their contribution is of less significance. And identify the critical issues, model, methods in the literature. Go through them. Models you may come across. You can develop your own model with the basis of that. That may not be called a case of copy, because inspiration you can take, motivation you can take, idea you can take, direct the review to show how your work will make a kind of further contribution. And then you need to identify the gap that we have already discussed. Do not copy and paste. Do not make claims which are not substantial. Do not criticize others in your literature review. Do not say whatever has been already said by the others. So to conclude, let me say very honestly, it's a both process and product. It is both mean as well as end. It's a descriptive, analytical summary of the existing material of any particular area or topic. It involves a systematic examination of prior scholarly works. So whatever you can do, you can communicate in a very limited space is there. No, if you are writing a complete paper, then this is something which is very different. But if only it is a part of your research study, mostly in the research in the universities, it is traditional way of doing research. Second chapter is always of literature review. Sukanya, are you listening to me or not?
Yes, sir.
So mostly students, what they do, their second chapter is literature review. If it is not second, it is the first part of the first chapter, the second part of your first chapter, sub chapter of your first chapter.
Okay, sir.
Therefore, you have to be very careful in that, making that place, that space worth reading, worth contributing. It is vital to organize literature review in a way that helps readers make a sense of the studies that they have undertaken. So these are the some references. These are the books. These are the papers through which I have prepared this my PPT. I hope that the learners may be benefited by this particular presentation. My thanks to one and all, especially to the organizing committee, especially to Professor Padmanabhanji and his very entire dedicated team for making this event successful one. And I'm very lucky to be part of this program. And I don't know in what manner, in what scope or area I have contributed, but with the help of scholars like Sukanya, I hope that I am, I have approached to the scholars in a very meaningful manner, and I hope that this cooperation, this journey of research, will be, continue in future to come. And Professor Padmanabhanji, I really heads off to you again. You are doing
Thank
a
you, sir.
wonderful
Thank you,
job.
sir.
Congratulations for your future endeavors. Whenever you require me, whenever your research scholars they require me, I am always available. I am always available for the academia, for the uh, for the um, scholars. We are, you know, um, always ready to share, to interact with our scholars. With these words, let me conclude my presentation. If you have any doubt, query, and questions, you are most welcome. Thanks for your patience listening as well.
Thank you, sir. Sir, we shall wait for a minute. No, if we have
Mhm.
any questions, no, let us answer. Now, after that, we shall conclude, sir.
Okay, okay.
Participants, no, if you have any questions, no, please ask your questions in the chat box. Dear participants, no, do we have any questions?
Does it mean that my lecture is so heavy, or it is very difficult
No, no,
for
no,
them
no,
to
sir. It is
understand?
not like that.
Or does it mean that they are satisfied completely?
Yeah, they are satisfied. No, there is a feedback. Knowledge like a sinking star beyond the utmost bound of human thought.
It's a quotation. I don't know whether it is for me or for someone else.
So it's
Any question? Sukanya, do you have any question? Because I asked you many times. Now it's your turn to ask any question.
No, sir, I don't have any questions. So you have given a
Don't
detailed.
don't leave me, so easily.
yeah. And if they have any questions, sir, no, we will interact with you. No, yeah, Suganya
Yeah,
is my scholar. No, and then anytime, no, we will disturb you.
I like to, get such disturbance.
uh, then we shall conclude, Professor. No, it is already 4:30. Yes, yes, sir. Thank you very much for your wonderful presentation. You have made a comprehensive one, sir. Now you touched upon various aspects related to um, literature review, and you have given an overview of what they should do and what they should not. It was such a thing, and from this, what is more important is that no, they will now understand why this particular aspect, this literature review, is so significant in research writing. So you have made it a very particular point that everyone now understood that it is the very essence of any research writing. Now, the significance that you were able to insist on the significance of review of literature. No, otherwise, what will happen? Usually, people will be doing. They will copy some material and will paste it as and they will say this is review of literature. But what is the really review of literature and why it is significant is all been touched upon in your lecture. That is the wonderful aspect of your lecture. And thank you, Professor. Thank you for your cooperation. And
Thank you very much
I
to you
hope
also
in
for giving
future
me this
also, no,
opportunity.
I'll be associating with you for many literary endeavors in the forthcoming days. And happy for your session. Thank you very much, sir.
Even
Thank you,
I like
participants,
to be
for your
associated
passion.
with you. It would be my pleasure
Thank
and
you, sir.
honor.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now we shall be. Sir.